All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing good today. Oh, all right. So, a lot of stuff going on in markets this morning. Uh, Number one, we've had some earnings come out. We might potentially get a tariff decision today, and this week we get PCE and GDP data. I'm checking this. Yeah, so we don't have any economic releases today, really, but we have had earnings drop. We had 3M post a beat in EPS, a slight beat in EPS. They expected 182. They showed at 183. Revenue at 6.13 million. They estimated around 6. 3M right here. You can see it's gapping slightly down today. Let me make. Oh wait, I might have select. Yeah, select 2. So they're gapping down slightly on this. NASDAQ, S&P, everything's basically down big, mostly because of the Greenland worries. People are worried about instability and push by the president. That's making markets gap down. Yeah, so the selling is being tied mainly to the president's renewed tariff threats against key European partners tied up with this Greenland push, spiking geopolitical and trade risks and knocking global equities down. If we take a look at the NASDAQ, we're all the way down at 25.2. Before I left the stream on Friday, we were at like 25.8. So we're down for sure. If you look at the SPY here, it's down to 680s right now, so it's definitely red on the day. We can see the NASDAQ. Silver's flying though. Silver's might make a test for $100 today. Silver's at 95.50s right now. 95.50s for silver. You can look at the Q as well and see it is gapping down pretty. Also, bro, where is my previous closing price indicator, dude? What happened to it? Either way, 620s looks like the previous close. We're at 610s on the NASDAQ. Bitcoin all the way down to 91,000 over the weekend. I saw that drop earlier. Check the chat, make sure everything's running smooth. Yeah, look at silver. Silver 95s right now for silver. $95 an ounce for silver. Gold is all the way up to 4,700. All-time highs as well. So kind of crazy, to be honest here. Okay, kind of crazy. Yeah, so looking into everything here. So over the weekend, the president said the U.S. will slap a 10% tariff on imports from 8 NATO allies. This includes Denmark, the United Kingdom, Germany, France, Netherlands, Sweden, Norway, Finland, starting February 1st, rising to 25% on June 1st until a deal is reached for the complete and total purchase of Greenland. European leaders call this move a blackmail and completely wrong and are openly discussing countermeasures, raising odds of a U.S.-Europe trade war rather than just noisy rhetoric. Again, S&P, NASDAQ down over 1.5% today. 107-point Dow drop at the open potentially. Investors are looking at weaker stuff. Silver and gold flying to highs as well. Gold up to, again, 47, 42, right around 47, 43 for gold futures. European auto companies, luxury companies, and industrial exporters are selling off today as well. U.S. futures still under pressure. Bitcoin over the last 48 hours over the weekend fell $4,000 to $5,000 from around 95 to 97 down to 92s, 91s right now for Bitcoin. forced liquidations on risk off of hits assets. Again, people are basically saying this is from Greenland tariffs plus a technical break of key support at 95K. So let's see if we hold here. But yeah, again, we've had some earnings this morning as well. ENPH was upgraded at Goldman Sachs. I see PayPal introduces a do-it-yourself tax filing for debit card customers. Netflix and Warner Bros. Announced they have amended their definitive agreement for the pending acquisition to an all-cash transaction. And again, we did have U.S. Bank and some other earnings drop this morning. I can put these up on screen if you guys want, or I can put them in the chat. There you go. Meta CTO says the AI bubble will be great for consumers, according to Axios. We also had Treasury. One of the other reasons the market is down is because Treasury Secretary Bassett started speaking. So honestly, the market's kind of scary right now, man. Hey, what's up, Freddie, Love, Rob, Womble, K, South, MV, Farmer, Steve, Faded, Matthew, Exit, EA, R, Brian, Sergio, AD, everybody else, Alpha, On, everybody else, PH, Bill, Goose, the man, Eric, everybody else. What's up, guys? Morning, Cyril. I don't know if I'm not really scared per se. I wouldn't call myself scared. You know, I ain't never scared. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm just joking. I wouldn't say I'm scared of the market right now. It's an interesting market. It might be a scary market, but I'm not scared personally. Honestly, we tend to do better. Like, my stream does better when markets are in chaos, and so today the markets are definitely in chaos, I would argue. But I thrive in it, you know. I was born in it, is what I'm saying. That's right, Steve. You know, you got the reference, Steve. I see. You know, you're on it. I get it. Yeah, scary as opportunities, really is. What was the best market quote? I think is, "Time to buy is when blood is running in the streets." That's my favorite time to buy as well. So if we drop significantly, I'll buy stuff up. I don't know if I'm buying stuff up now necessarily. I'm gonna wait and see what happens first. But I probably will start buying stuff up if we find something. Tariff decision potentially is going to be at 10 a.m. today, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time today. A tariff. Right. Blood on the streets. You guys know it's time. That's the time to do stuff. The time to do stuff is not when there's a big mania. All right. Anyways, Nasdaq's down pretty significantly here. I'm looking at 25,000 though. 25K. I think gold and silver look incredibly interesting as well today also. So we're going to be looking at those as well. Again, we did have Treasury Secretary Bassett speak this morning. And I think he also spoke over the weekend. I have to go look. But I think those quotes are influencing markets as well. Yeah, Bassett basically tried to calm markets and defend the president's Greenland move as strategic. Talk down the odds of a full-blown trade war or bond crisis. He repeatedly called the reaction to the president's Greenland-linked tariffs hysteria. Say people are leaping to worst-case trade scenarios and should, quote, take a deep breath instead. Bassett argued that the tariffs are a special case, quote, very different from other trade deals, framed as part of a long-term U.S. security goal to control Greenland and counter Russia and China in the Arctic. He warned that European retaliation would be, quote, very unwise, end quote, urged all countries to, quote, stick with their trade deals, end quote, and insisted U.S.-Europe relations remain strong despite the headlines. He also dismissed talk that Europe and the UK might unload U.S. treasuries as the nuclear option, saying there's no sign of that and downplaying systemic risk from current sell-offs. He said the administration is still pro-growth and expects the economy to stay solid while acknowledging markets are nervous about tariffs and higher yields. He also noted that the president could decide on the next Fed chairman as early as next week. Bro, they've been saying that for like a month and a half now. Every week we hear, hey, the president might decide on the new chairman next week, and then nothing happens. I'm not saying he's wrong, man. I hope he's right. I'm curious to see who the next chairman is going to be. But basically, Bassett here just told everybody to chill out a little bit. And let me know if you guys agree with him. Let's do a poll here. Let's do a poll here. Which tariff decision would you prefer? Reversing of tariffs. Tariffs hold. All right, there. You can vote on that poll. Which would you prefer here? Again, we had some upgrades. ENPH, Goldman Sachs. We had some earnings as well. Fifth Third Bank, BDPSB revenue. DR Horton, BDPSB revenue. Fastenal, BDPS came in flat EPS, 26 versus 26 expected cents per share EPS. They missed revenue by a couple million. They came in at 2.03 billion. They expected 2.05 billion. Key Corp also BDPS and revenue. USB BDPS and revenue. And we had some other smaller, these are mostly regionals, but most of them BDPS and revenue. So look at the SPY though, man. Look at gold up here, silver, Bitcoin. It's an interesting day. Here's hold. Yeah, apparently we're getting news that Japan's government bonds are also crashing down. Japan's 30-year bond yield spiked 30 basis points in one session to 3.9%, the highest in history apparently. 40-year yields went up 28 basis points to 4.22%, which again is the highest ever. They've soared 80 basis points since the new prime minister Taichi took office in October. 10-year yields jumped 12 basis points to 2.37, which is the highest since the 90s. And again, this is coming after investors are panicking that the tax cut promises ahead of the February election means the government will bring in less money, take on more debt, and put even more strain on the already extremely weak finances there. Demand collapsed at 20-year government bond auction. Thin demand opened the floodgates, yields into super high. Japan lost control of its bond market. Gold and silver skyrocketing for the reasons. Well, the Denmark prime minister also said, if someone starts a trade war with Europe, we will of course respond. The worst may still be ahead of us. Again, the president also threatened 200% tariffs on French wine and champagne, while doubling down on his Greenland pursuit after France's leader Emmanuel Macron rejected Trump's call to join his peace initiative. He said, quote, nobody wants him because he's going to be out of office very soon. The president told reporters Monday, I'll put a 200% tariff on his wines and champagnes and he'll join. Early on Monday, a letter from the president to the Norwegian prime minister was published by Bloomberg and seemed to link it president's rationale for wanting to purchase Greenland with the fact that he didn't receive a Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know if any of this stuff's true. I'm just reading the news, guys. Reading the news. An interesting day for sure. Yeah, a lot of stuff moving markets this morning. Again, gold and silver up, Bitcoin down, SPY down. Most markets are down a little bit today. My stock portfolio is definitely down. Oracle's down. Luckily, we took profit in Oracle, though, over the last few days. And I think we added back, but we're still very green on this portfolio. Do I have any stocks that are green today? Silver. Silver saving the day. All right, so 56 of you guys would prefer reversing the tiers. 45% you would prefer it to hold. Interesting how split we are. And Warner Bros. Is apparently going to call a meeting of holders to approve the deal. Board approves amended restated pact with Netflix. Board unanimously recommends holders vote for the Netflix. And I think on Thursday we get 2 different economic reports. I think we get GDP and PCE on Thursday. I'm trying to make sure though. I'd rather them space it out and put one on Thursday, one on Friday like they normally do, instead of dropping it all same day. But that's all right. The tariffs, I hope you're shorting. Yeah, I mean, I'm worried that it might push market. I don't know. I think either way, there could be some uncertainty and fears, obviously, in markets right now. I think even if we reverse the tariffs, I think some markets might react negatively to that. I think even if we keep the tariffs, some markets might react negatively to that. And so I'm curious to see what happens with it. Again, the earliest we might know, 10 a.m. today, Eastern Standard Time. 10 a.m. Eastern Time today is when we might know. Was there any news over the weekend? Yeah, there's a lot of news happening over the weekend. Basically, the markets are down significantly today. Look at the SPY. Here's the SPY. So the SPY is down. NASDAQ is down. Gold and silver are high here. And again, this is mostly specifically from President threatened sweeping new tariffs on Europe tied to his Greenland push. What this is, it flipped global risk sentiment, spilling into equities, bonds, crypto. If we take a look at yields, yeah, so basically over the weekend he said that it will slap a 10% tariff on imports from 8 different European allies: Denmark, UK, Germany, France, Netherlands, Sweden, Norway, and Finland, starting February 1st, rising to 25% on June 1st unless a deal is reached for the complete and total purchase of Greenland, is what it is. And that's basically causing uncertainty. We also had Bassett speak this morning. He basically told everybody to chill out. And if we take a look at yields are definitely elevated right now. So if we look at yields here, and yields are up. They're at almost 4.3. Last week they were under 4.2. You can see how much they spiked just over the weekend here. Treasury yields, and remember, interest rates and yields follow each other, so yields are up on this. Meaning higher interest rate sentiment, less cuts, what it's looking like. If we take a look at bonds, or if we take a look at the Fed watch tool, I mean, still 95 to 5. This is essentially unchanged. We have a little over a week until the FOMC decision, but it's basically unchanged. So that is where markets are today. Again, Bassett issued a warning to Europe regarding Greenland, and that, as I said on April 2nd, the worst thing countries can escalate against the US. As a reminder, April 2nd was the president's quote-unquote liberation day. EU's callous says on the tariff threats they only risk making both Europe and the US poor and undermining our shared prosperity. That our response must be to remain calm, hold our ground, and act in unity. Bring us boundaries are not here. I'd cost to move around, maybe. Yeah, they might be. Again, they might be. Look, again, stocks just to take a look at this morning. There's a couple. Okay. We had 3M earnings. I think it beat EPS in revenue, but it's still gapping down some. Again, barely beat EPS. Did beat revenue though, but it's gapping down some for 3M on just earnings. We had a couple other ones. Maybe KEY, KEY, again gapping down on earnings as well. USB, not really moving. Earnings report. But I think you know, you can also look at names tied to you can also look at names tied to the tariffs today. I think looking at names tied to the tariffs makes they might potentially look at crypto stocks. Volkswagen, they're down a little bit today. BMW, Caterpillar, 3M, Danaher, Tyco, yes, Coinbase. Look at Bitcoin and crypto. Coinbase, Era, Riot. Riot went up a lot on last week. MicroStrategy back down to 165s again. Yeah, again, Bitcoin, crypto, big flush over the weekend. All right, guys. So remember, Thursday we have all the economic reports consolidated into one day. Essentially, we have jobless claims, we have GDP, we have PCE, inflation, all coming out Thursday. So this Thursday, we got a whole bunch of different reports coming out. Again, jobless claims, PCE, inflation, GDP data for quarter 3. A little late GDP, but it's always a little late. But I'll get them Thursday. So the VIX is, I'm sure, elevated this morning here. If we look at the VIX, yeah, the VIX is right around $20. It's going to be elevated today. I don't even have to look at it to see that, just based off of everything going on. Yeah, 10 a.m. today, Eastern Standard Time. We get the potential reversal of the tariffs. Yeah, I mean, I saw Bitcoin falling down yesterday. So I looked at Bitcoin yesterday and it was down. So Bitcoin really made most of this big drop yesterday. Days in Chicago. It's not, I mean, Bitcoin's been falling though. Okay. Big drop in Bitcoin right here. Up. 175 hold. We're over 250 now in the NASDAQ. We seem to be rebounding a little. Again, gold just so elevated on the day. What stocks are you guys interested in buying right now? List some. I'll take a look at them. What stocks are you guys wanting to buy? Yeah, Sunday futures. What if futures open up on Sunday? They open up at like 6, 5, 6. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of noise about Greenland. And the president just posted this. Look, president just tweeted this, or just posted this. It's kind of funny. Look, it's the U.S. and it has Greenland, Venezuela, all part of the United States, and Canada. I didn't even realize Canada. Yeah. Oh man. Look at the president's face here too. Static. Look at Starmer. Oh man. Alright. Alright. Look at Starmer right here. Oh, man. I gotta laugh a little bit about it. It's funny. It's funny, you know. Don't take the market too seriously. Yeah, I'm not saying we should or shouldn't. I'm neutral on all this stuff. I just think it's funny. I think the picture is funny. All right, guys, so we're starting to still push up with the NASDAQ. Honestly, the NASDAQ's been rebounding for the last 3 hours. So NASDAQ's been pushing up for the last 3. All right, so look at the NASDAQ. I'm watching 275 here. Again, gold and silver super elevated. Still back up to all-time highs. Gold and silver. Can't be neutral on war? Bro, I will be like Sweden really quick. Watch me be Sweden, you know? You say I can't be neutral, I'll turn into Sweden really quick. The reason that's a joke is because Sweden was neutral in World War II. You know? All right, guys, we are up to 275. See if we hold here. I'm watching this 275 level. We get a little dip down to 225. I'll buy this dip. I mean, both of them. Both Sweden and Switzerland were... Even democracy, of course. I'm a capitalist by nature, and I think capitalism is the only economic state that's really like we can make these theories and be like, oh well, if we just did it this way, you know, things would be great. We can sit by the fire and sing Kumbaya, but the reality of it is, eventually, if you try other forms like socialism or worse, then and I think they all lead to, you know, same outcome a lot of the time. Eventually, somebody's just going to swoop in and take power, and then things are going to get much worse for everybody. And so generally, I think you should just let people compete with capitalism. But yeah, I'm a believer in democracy, and that doesn't necessarily mean I support or don't support either side of this, or, you know, any politician. I go by policy mostly. I think policy-wise, you know, that's what I would choose to go with. I'm not going to be too specific, though. I'm not going to start that. I think, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on today. I'm very neutral on all that, so. Oh, I'm drinking coffee today. Yeah, silver, guys. That's saving my portfolio today. Let's talk about something good, which is silver right now. Will silver break $100 today? Put yes or no in chat right now. Put yes or no. $100 for silver. Will it break $100 an ounce for silver futures? There's low volume rally pre-market. My gut tells me there's a high chance of dump at the market open. Yeah, I mean, we do have a low volume rally here. It looks like it could be a broad continuation of a downward trend as well. It just depends on how high we get in pre-market. Again, the VIX is kind of falling back down with this push, though. So the VIX opened up higher this morning. And it's starting to head back down a little bit with this market rebound. Again, you can kind of see the VIX is falling down as the NASDAQ pushes higher here. And again, we'll see if it holds. Bitcoin's still over 90,000, but back all the way down to 91K. It was at like 95s to 97s last week. So Bitcoin is not held over the weekend. I was curious to see what it did on the holiday yesterday too, because a lot of the time Bitcoin and crypto can run or make big moves essentially when other markets are closed. And it did make a big move. It just wasn't on the upside. It was kind of on the downside. Again, will silver break $100 today? Okay, we got a lot of answers. Sorry, I missed most of them. Here we go. So no, it won't. Yes, no, yes, easy, yes, 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 no, yes. I don't own it. Easy, yes, yes. No, yes. Silver, don't know. Friday, no. Number one, definitely number one. No, yes. All right, so yeah, oil. Let's take a look at oil today. Oil still where it was last week. $60 a barrel, basically. Under 60 a little bit right now. Yeah, I mean, I think silver's close enough, and I think the closer we get to that big psychological level for silver, the more likely it is that we break it imminently. And so I think the closer we get to $100 an ounce, closer, or the more pull, the more magnetism that level is ultimately going to have, if that makes sense, right? Like, just psychologically, as we get closer to these big levels, the more likely we are to actually test them. I'm not saying we break and hold significantly. I think a lot of the time you see us make these moves towards these big psychological levels. We tap the levels and then we dump down afterwards. I'm not saying that's going to happen either, but that's what I'm watching for specifically. And I might play the range up there as well. I'm already in silver long. What? Oh, no, it is. Oh, my gosh. Here, Carol. Hey, come here. All right, guys. Carol's going to hang out and talk to you guys for a second. All right, guys. So Carol's going to sit here and hang out with you guys.
New ones. Let's talk. I like to get them in these little gloves. before.
Yeah. All right, I'm back. Yeah, where is Netflix at this morning? Let me fix Big. Go back down there. I had to take the trash out, man. Netflix at $89. Honestly, I might buy more Netflix. I'm not really 100% sure what I want to do with this for Netflix. My silver position is pretty green. Did break over 275. If we pull back to 225, I might try to buy it, and then if we break under the 200 exponential, just cut it. That's what I'm looking at. Support markets remaining open 24/7 like Bitcoin to a certain extent, yeah, but I like the opening bell. I want to see consolidation at the open. Yeah, silver and gold are both flying up. I think gold is actually moving up a little bit more. Gold's at all-time highs at 42.42s or 47.42s. So yeah, gold has been making some moves. So how did Carol do? Let me know. How did Carol do? I kind of forced her to sit here and talk to you guys while I'm gone because I knew it would take me like 5 minutes. Maybe I should just get commercials. Netflix earnings is today. Yeah, Netflix earnings after the closing bell today. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it. She didn't talk? I think she did talk. She's just really quiet. Put some margin into Alibaba. She didn't say anything? Oh, let me ask Paul. Paul knows. Mike didn't work. So I've been sitting here quietly for an hour. That's all right. Said 2 words. Carol was great. Did she speak though? I'm getting different quotes. Some people are saying she didn't speak at all. But yeah, you're not gonna be able to see her. She just woke up. She's not like me, where you can just hop on stream at the crack of dawn. You know, it takes a special person to do that. How's the audio messed up? Nothing? Oh, man. Yeah, it can be kind of intimidating to stream. It really can be. When I first started streaming, nobody ever saw my face. I just kind of sat here quietly. I had a customer service voice the whole time. You know? Really, it ended up sounding more country than anything. I think if I look back on those streams, you can hear some of my accent come out a little bit more than now. Oh, 1 million shares of Lululemon? Oh man, that's blasphemy. Oh yeah. Natural gas is running up apparently. What's natural gas? Is it NG or HG? What's HG is copper. What's the natural gas? NG? Yeah, NG. Look at natural gas this morning. 383s here. Gold up there as well. Nasdaq down to 250s. If it bounces here, I'm just gonna have to watch it go. Again, I'd prefer a 225 pullback right around the 200 exponential here. I think that level makes a lot of sense. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Ugh. How did that football game go last night? Hold on, wait. Oh yeah, Indiana versus Miami. Indiana won. Still undefeated. They won't be better than my 2019 LSU team, but you know. AMD partnering with Riot. I saw that last week. Riot went up a lot from it. I think Bitcoin overall is going to drag everything down this morning, unfortunately. So, yeah, I'm definitely not an investment professional. Maybe you're talking about yourself, but I'm definitely not one either. Gold might reach 4,800. Yeah, when does gold break 5,000 an ounce? Looking at our poll, 52% support reversing of the tariffs. 48% want the tariffs to hold. Copper sleeping? Yeah, natty gas is not. And again, we do have Netflix earnings after the closing bell. It's really the first Magnificent 7 stock, Mag 7 stock that we've seen have earnings this season. So it's really the first Mag 7 stock with earnings. The only other big one we've gotten, I think, was MU. Also, Congress is unlikely to back force in Greenland. Former House Speaker Paul Ryan said Congress would not authorize the president's use of military force in Greenland, calling the idea highly unlikely. Speaking in Davos, he noted that the U.S. already has defense access to Greenland and warned that any unilateral action by the president would cross a serious line. All right, so the UAE president accepts the U.S. invitation to the Board of Peace. Treasury Secretary Bassett also said the president could announce his pick for Fed Reserve chair as early as next week. Yeah, but they've been saying this for 3 months now. Amazon CEO Jassy says in the next few years, I could see us having fewer people than we had before. He said, I've started seeing some of the tariffs creep into some of these items in the CNBC. Yeah, we did bounce at 250 here, which is what I was worried about. It's not really a huge bounce. OpenAI and ServiceNow are striking a deal to put AI agents in business software, according to the Wall Street Journal. And I showed this picture earlier. President posted this picture earlier, which has Canada, Greenland, and Venezuela all in the US in this picture. You got Starmer right here. You got all these other leaders here. President's face is pretty funny. You know, I think it's very unlikely we try to. I don't know. Really, I don't know. All right, looking at 275 level. So we're following my levels here on the NASDAQ. We rejected here, bounced here, kind of pinned between these two spots. Where's Amazon at? What's the PE ratio of Amazon? Amazon's 33 to 34x. Forward PE is about 29. So it's not terrible. It's not great either. We're in the middle. I think a lot of stocks are in that, like, where they're not necessarily, like, they're not bad with PE ratios and valuations, but they're not good either. You know, so yeah, so and with all the stuff, Canada's Carney aims to lead new global trading order less reliant on the United States. He wants to redraw global trade lines as U.S. dominance. Always a threat. We had the Davos. Yeah, so here's 8 a.m. Here's silver. Pulling back a little bit, guys, from that almost 96. It's at 94.70s now. Look at silver start to dip back down here. And we're still dropping pretty heavy here. All right, so look at this dip in the NASDAQ here. So the NASDAQ falling with silver. And you can also take a look at the VIX today. VIX has been moving up a little bit. Market's starting to pull back. And gold elevated on the day, but now pulling back. Netflix, Nvidia sitting at 182. But Nvidia's gotten pushed all the way back down. And this is how you can see how big the gap down is in some of this stuff. Nvidia was at 190s Friday morning. At 182. The Nvidia has fallen down as well here. I see somebody say, why would we want green? There's a lot of natural resources there, and with like the AI boom and us needing some of those resources, that's kind of what a lot of this is about. It's rich in critical minerals, rare earths, lithium, graphite, coppers. Others use batteries and tech. A lot of oil and gas potential there as well. So a lot of countries vie for control of those natural resources, and that's really what all of this is about. Natural resources, well as like just location. Yeah, like Washington's rare earths and other minerals way to reduce. So like that's what the Greenland push is about. Yeah, it's a defense position. That's what I said. The location of Greenland is also why it's relevant. That's radar, missile operation. Again, there's a couple different reasons, but yeah, Treasury yields are up today for sure. If you look at yields, they're up to almost 4.3% for 10-year Treasuries, is what I saw this morning. So again, just to put it into perspective, we were under 4.2% last week. We're now at 4.287 and 4.87, so elevated. In regards to yields, morning, and again, we should get a tariff. We could get a tariff decision at 10 a.m. today. It's not 100%, but we could get one as early as today. It's not 100%. Does the audio keep dropping? Let me know. Yeah, so again, there's a bond sell-off, which is making the yields go higher. Anytime bonds get sold off, yields go up. supply and demand. Japan's 40-year government bond again has been hitting record highs. U.S. Treasury yield spiking. So Japan bonds sold off this morning. They came under pressure from deficit, debt, and geopolitics. Again, the U.S. president threatened to put tariffs on various European allies. Again, so by early this morning, yields have spiked 4.3%. In Europe, yields are also up. The 10-year German bond, a benchmark for the Eurozone, saw its yield added 4 basis points to 2.8831%. The yield on 30-year bonds in Germany advanced almost 6 basis points to 3.512%. UK government bonds, known as gilts, saw a sharp sell-off with 30-year yields adding 9 basis points, 5.253%. Benchmark 10-year added 7 basis points. UK currently has the highest long-term government borrowing cost of any G7 nation. Here today, guys. Yeah, natural gas. Is it NG? Yeah, NG up 386s here. 385s. Natural gas, one of the reasons it's up is because they think it's going to be a much colder than normal January and February, repricing heating demand. So it looks like it's going to be colder for longer, apparently, and that's making natural gas go up. Heating. Google down to 321s. Yeah, all good. Yeah, it could be the head turning. Well. Hey, thank you, Mad. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man. Again, what's the buy to today, guys? Give me your argument. What are you guys interested in buying right now in market? And here's Nvidia, Oracle, Intel. Intel's up a little bit. Let me see. Intel's almost red or green on the day for it. Again, Netflix earnings after the bell today. 89.15 for Netflix right now. Yeah, Bitcoin at 91s almost, but it's now dipping under 91 now. Bitcoin. Silver is elevated. I'm looking for this 225 level here. Gold. Yeah, gold's also obviously rip it up is what 4700s. Yeah, 47.28 right now for gold futures. ECA cycle on the Mag 7 if earnings season is bad. Yeah, that's probably what I'm looking at too. Netflix beat 0.8% on the last report and should be full season. Already bought what I like right now. RILY. The financial services company in California. Investment banking, small cap companies, liquidation services. Not really my niche, but it's interesting. Been spiking recently, so maybe. Lyft? Where's Lyft at? I don't know, man. I like the Lyft chart, honestly. I don't think the Lyft chart looks bad at all. Problem is like long term. Zoom out long term in Lyft. It's been really stagnant for 3 or 4 years, and I think Uber is kind of beating Lyft. I think people still use Lyft if they can't use Uber for whatever reason. But I don't like the competition dynamic of Lyft. I think Lyft's probably still making good. I mean, I don't know. Let me see what Lyft is making in turn. Yes. I'm just worried it's not gonna. Yeah. But I look at Lyft stock. Its margins are slow. And if that competition dynamic continues, You know, that's what I'm worried about. So. But they do seem to be growing and making a little bit more money. And so I don't know. Maybe lift. I don't know. Not really my style. Ian carry trade dynamic on Mons. It'll be a real sell-off. Hey, bud. How you doing, dude? Good day, buddy. Love you, man. Meta? I'm in meta. Let me see. Yeah, I'm in meta already. I'm still green on it. My average price is like 600. Yeah, I saw the Europe selling, the threatening selling U.S. bonds from Europe. Saw it already. Yeah, so European leaders are calling the move on the president slapping 10% tariff potentially on imports from 8 NATO allies, which includes Denmark, United Kingdom, Germany, France, Netherlands, Sweden, Norway, Finland, starting February 1st, and it rises to 25% on June 1st unless a deal is made for complete and total purchase of Greenland. They call the move blackmail and completely wrong in Europe and are openly discussing countermeasures. We had earnings this morning too for some stuff, but nothing big. Buy the dip? Is it time to buy the dip, guys? Let me know. I don't know. Is it? All right. Oh wait, here's my dip buy. Hold on. Wait. I'll try to buy this. We're in 3 contracts here. We made money every day last week. We do that this week. U.S. Secretary of State Rubio is gonna host inaugural critical minerals meeting on February 4th. MicroStrategy also bought $22,300 worth, $22,300 worth of Bitcoin from an agreement purchase price of $2.2 billion. I'm gonna sit in this for a second and see if my balance at the 200 exponential and level works. I love you. Good day. Yeah, I'm gonna sit here. 200 exponentials right here. Got a support level. We'll see if this holds. Not, it's okay. Nike, how's Nike doing? Again, I'm in Nike right now. I think I'm red on the day. Yeah, I'm slightly red. But my average price is 57s. So I'm okay with that. Here we go. Look at this trade. All right, we're going to immediately take a lot of this off here. Look at that bounce. I'm telling you, dude. This level works incredibly well. We're going to give it a second to keep going back up, too. There we go. All right, I'm going to cut it right there. Easy money. Easy money this morning. Again, look, I've gone over this for years in terms of strategy. But when you have the 200 exponential on a 1-minute chart and a major support level that's been confirmed before, like here and longer back, it just a lot of the time is a pivot point, like a bounce level. And you can see that on the chart. Where do we bounce? We bounce exactly at that level. Algorithms pick it up. I think algorithms watch these levels as well. And when you combine it all together, you just have a big edge of a rebound. And again, we sold it at before 250. There's the rejection at 250. Easy money. Not an investment professional, though. Don't copy me. Not liable if you lose. Seen a bro in Reddit Loses life savings on BYND. Yeah, well, it's BYND, you know. Again, I think with markets sometimes you have to tell yourself the story. And I've talked about this story before with BYND. BYND. The problem is obvious for BYND. What's the problem? The problem is you do not have enough people interested in actually buying it. Like, the niche sector is too small. You know, vegans probably aren't going to mess with it. You know, they're definitely not going to go to fast food chains to buy it like they're trying to partner with. You know, you just don't have enough people interested in it, unfortunately. Or fortunately, whatever way. It's not like I'm shorting BYND. And so what does that mean? That means the business outlook is low, but maybe it has some squeeze potential. And I think that's why it climbed higher here. But again, I've been like a broken record for years on BYND. The issue is you just don't have enough people interested in it. I think Impossible is a little bit better, but see what happens. Again, Netflix earnings after the bell today. Netflix all the way to $89 a share, but I think Netflix is still net down. I don't know why my previous closing price. I usually have an indicator here showing where the previous closing price is. For whatever reason, it's just not showing up today on my charts. But again, it looks like Netflix is technically green in pre-market ahead of its earnings at the closing bell today. So. Oh my gosh, we do have ADP, guys. 8,000. I completely forgot about ADP. My bad, guys. We got ADP prelim employment numbers today. Didn't really move markets. They showed up at 8,000. Previous was 11.75 thousand. I completely forgot about ADP today. It's alright. It didn't really move markets at all. But, I don't know. Maybe at 15 it did. Again, 8,000 jobs averaging a week by ADP data. ADP data, 8,000 jobs averaging per week here. So, yeah, 8,000 jobs added per week. Again, it's not even that big of market movers here. I mean, we'll cover ADP data, but yeah, 8,000 jobs. Previous was 11.75 thousand for ADP jobs numbers. So I'll put this number up on screen. I think they were a little delayed as well here. The holiday's throwing me off. It's Tuesday, not Monday. Yeah. Honestly, though, I enjoyed my day off yesterday. Yeah, it's supposed to snow next weekend, huh? Netflix, 89.20s. Again, MicroStrategy buying 22,305 Bitcoin for about 2.13 billion here. Again, Congress unlikely to back force in Greenland. Former House Speaker Ryan said Congress would not authorize the president's use of military force, calling it highly unlikely. Again, the president did escalate some tensions with European leaders ahead of Davos, threatening 200% tariffs on French wine after President Emmanuel Macron declined to join his peace initiatives. Listen, I'm from South Louisiana. We don't see ice or snow very much. If we have even just a little bit of ice, whole infrastructure breaks down, unfortunately. It turns into chaos really quick. I currently live in Houston, and we had a blizzard maybe 3 or 4 years ago, or maybe this was like 5 or 6 years ago. Dude, I'm telling you, after that blizzard, it wasn't even a blizzard. It was just snow. We called it a blizzard because to us it was one. Everything shut down. Chaos hit the streets. Power went out almost universally in Houston. Kids got to see some snow though, so that's good. Any data in 9 minutes? No, we already had we had some jobs numbers come out. They showed up at 8,000. Previous was 11.5 thousand. Again, I'll put the jobs numbers up on screen again. I think we have any data today. Let me check. I think all the data today this week is consolidated to wait. I think all the data today is consolidated to Thursday. We have some data at 10 a.m. today. We have the tariff decision at 10. We have something going on. Yeah, Thursday we have jobless claims, GDP Q3 delayed data, and PCE inflation data for November. I don't know why they didn't design it and just make it Friday. Look at the NASDAQ rip back up here. So again, I've only gotten to one trade. Hey, thank you, Tech. I appreciate it. Prayers this storm isn't too bad for the South. Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be okay. But we only got into one trade this morning. We bought this dip at 200 exponential and 225 level here. And we bounced right up to 275. But yeah, I appreciate the donation, brother. Thank you, man. Y'all do me a favor, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, we could potentially get a tariff decision today, and we could have more chaos, so we'll see. Again, Greenland's PM says military force is unlikely, but it cannot be ruled out. Yeah, and with all this extra cool pressure coming in, the natural gas ripping up 389 floors. The natty gas pushing up on the renewed outlook for cooler weather here, making people use their heaters more and ultimately more natural gas. If the Supreme Court rules against the tariffs, we'll come back with more tariffs the next day. Yeah, I mean, look, I think they're going to find ways to implement the tariffs regardless. And so the question is, do we want to restart that volatility cycle? That's the question. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I did a poll this morning. Pretty split on the matter. Over 700 votes on this poll this morning. 51% support a reversing of the tariffs, and 49% want the tariffs to hold. Yeah, I've never had Beyond Meat. I was at Disney World and they had Impossible Tacos, and the tacos were good. They were good. I liked them. I mean, I'm not going to order them again, but they were good. And I think that's the dilemma with some of the stuff. It's like people might get curious and try them once. I don't think people are just going to regularly eat them. I think vegans are too health conscious to experiment with this stuff, especially at fast food chains, and they just don't have the need for it. No, they were honestly legitimately good. Create enter opportunities, big dumps. That means for stock market or silver. I don't know how the market's going to respond. I think market might panic either way. Reverse the tariffs, market might panic. You can see how split the poll is, 50-50 basically. I think the market might panic regardless. So yeah, I think markets might freak out anyway. Again, Greenland's prime minister says we are working on a closer cooperation with the European Union. France's Macron says anti-coercion instrument is a powerful instrument and we shouldn't hesitate to use it. Again, Russia has gained more than $216 billion from rising gold prices since the invasion of Ukraine, offsetting more than $300 billion in sovereign assets frozen. Yeah, look at natural gas here. Again, Netflix is up ahead of their earnings report after the closing bell today, so more volatility potential at the closing bell. Earnings season should start. Most of the big earnings, we have some big earnings after the bell. We have Netflix, United Airlines, IB, Progress, F&B, Dions, Hancock Whitney, and more after the closing bell today. We have Johnson & Johnson tomorrow morning, Halliburton, Schwab, Ally, Citizens, Prologis, Peladon, and more. Wednesday we got like Kinder Morgan, Bank of Cali, and that's basically it. Procter & Gamble, GE, Thursday for the open. Intel, Thursday evening is probably one of the bigger ones this week as well. Intel at the closing bell on Thursday. And then next week we have Mag 7, right? We have like Tesla, Apple, Meta, Microsoft. Yeah, Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla are going to be on Wednesday, January 28th, which I think is the same day as the Fed meeting, if I'm correct. Right, so next Wednesday, we got Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla earnings after the closing bell. And this is after the FOMC decision, which is going to be before that. So next Thursday is interesting. We have a lot of stuff dropping in terms of earnings. Basically, guaranteed markets in Bitcoin will dump on the open as the steepest of all time. I think anything's guaranteed, though, brother. We're already down a lot. Maybe we drop at the opening bell. It's certainly possible we do. I don't think anything's 100%. You know, usually I hear people like be like, "Oh, this is absolutely gonna happen," and then it doesn't, and then we don't hear from them. You know, then they might show up 3 weeks later and act like, "Hey guys, what's up?" You know, and I'm not saying that's you. What I'm saying is that nothing's absolute. Markets can do whatever. They could drop at the opening bell. They could go up at the opening bell. We don't know for sure. Now, I think if we hold where we are now, it is possible we get a drop. Just broad continuation, pullback, continue. I think that's possible. But again, nothing's absolute. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I see Macron talking right now. Trying to see if anything he said. He said we need more Chinese investments into Europe in key sectors. Do not hesitate to see EU's anti-coercion mechanism. I don't know. This looks pretty sure of going down. Markets are not waiting for you. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think the big question mark, and I think we might have a choppy open depending on if we get a tariff decision or not, and then that might unlock a specific direction depending on how the tariff decision goes. I think, but ahead of that, I think at 10 a.m., you know, we might have a potential. I think they're releasing just one opinion at 10 a.m., and so if that opinion is the tariff opinion, we're going to see some volatility unlock after that. If it's not the tariff decision, you know, we might see some volatility unlock as well. I just think there's a chance that markets remain stagnant ahead of that. Not remain stagnant. I don't think they're necessarily stagnant right now, but I think there's a chance leading into that 10 a.m. decision, since it's so close after the opening bell, that markets are underwhelmingly moving ahead of it in anticipation. Again, Macron says Europe does not have enough private investments. Again, natural gas futures up 26% to almost $4. Almost $4 for natty gas. Silver's flying up as well. Silver back up to over 95 ounce. Nasdaq is pulling back though. The tariff decision might happen today. Might. Again, so this is the way it works. We've talked about this a couple times. The way this works is that they release the opinions, but they don't tell you which cases are in each batch. And so what they do is they release it today at 10 o'clock, and there's only one opinion they're releasing. And so if that one opinion is the tariff decision, then we got our tariff decision at 10 a.m. If it's not, then we got to wait for the next date. They've done two previous ones to today, and obviously the tariff decision was not in either of those two dates releases. So that's where we are now. This will be the third opinion day since the potential for the tariff decision could show. And as of now, it hasn't yet. We'll see what happens at 10 o'clock today. Again, be here on the stream at 10 a.m. We will cover it immediately once it comes out. And we do have some sources that give us the access basically immediately. So stick around. We'll see what happens at 10 a.m. today in an hour and a half. And yeah, let me know. Will we get a tariff decision today? Put yes or no in chat. NASDAQ pulling all the way back down. I don't want to buy the retest of 225 here. I've already bought the bounce. I don't really like the retest. Maybe we're going to move in a range. Again, natty gas still edging higher. NVIDIA all the way down to 181s today, guys. 181s, 182 right now. Okay, so the Supreme Court has scheduled an opinion session, again, 10 a.m. Tariff case is one of the argued cases that could be decided, but they have not said it will definitely tariffs today. Again, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Legality of the president's tariffs under IEEPA. Pending docket. Could get one as soon as today. Some desks do think the decision could also slip to a later opinion day, possibly as late as June. So again, we might not get it today. We'll see. And maybe I should have bought that 225 level on the dip here. Top 3 greatest level ever. Look at that bounce right there. When his silver hits $100, banks have to cover. Bitcoin carry trade again. Software running dry. I think it all recovers at the opening bell. Bull or bear at the opening bell here? Yeah, there really is so much tension on social media right now. Bassett said president worried that U.S. would be called to defend Greenland in case of incursion. He said the president believes Greenland is essential for Golden Dome missile shield. We also had the Philly Fed index negative 4.2%. They expected 16.8. Non-manufacturing activity negative 4.2. So a little bit more positive than expected. Look at this drop here. Wow. I don't think this is from Philly Fed index 3 minutes ago. This happened too quickly. Again, this is maybe Bassett speaking. Davos Treasury Secretary Bassett says the president believes Greenland is essential for Golden Dome missile shield. The president has strong view on Western Hemisphere security. And today is Tuesday. I keep kidding. We had the 8,000 ADP prelim non-farm employment data. We have the president speaking tomorrow as well. And look at this drop though. Now we just got bought right back up. I can't tell if this is from Bessett's. The Danish pension fund is going to exit the U.S. according to Bloomberg as well. Yeah, Danish pension fund. Please don't get mad if I get this wrong. Academic or pension is going to exit U.S. Treasuries. It had $100 million in U.S. Treasuries at the end of December. Take a look at yield. Yield should be spiking up on this. Bond prices. Hold off. Yeah, look at yield spike. So again, Danish pension fund is going to exit the U.S. They had $100 million in U.S. Treasuries at the end of December. Yields are now spiking up on this, up to basically 4.3%, 4.299% right now. That's what's going on. Look at yield spike. Again, Danish pension fund is going to exit the U.S. They had $100 million in treasuries at the end of December. What this is. That's why we dropped all of a sudden here. Looks weak here though. Looks like we're giving some back. Wow. Again, what just happened, guys? Danish pension fund, academics pension, gonna exit U.S. Treasuries. They had $100 million in Treasury holdings at the end of December. They are now gonna exit U.S. Treasuries after the geopolitical stuff going on with Greenland and everything. Benson also said it's tough to disagree, or it's it's tough to disaggregate Treasury's move from Japan. Also, yeah, the Bank of Japan news is also scaring people as well here. So again, Japanese government bonds have been crashing down. The 30-year government bond yields are up 30 basis points. And remember, bond prices and yields inverse each other. So when bonds crash down or get unloaded, yields go up, right? Again, Danish pension fund is set to exit the U.S. as of December. The fund had 100 million in U.S. securities or U.S. Treasuries. Again, the 40-year yield in Japan went up 28 basis points, 4.22%, which is the highest ever. It's sort of 80 basis points. Since the new prime minister took office in October, the 10-year yield jumped 12 basis points, 2.37, went in highest since the 90s. Investors are worried that tax cut promises ahead of the February election means the government is going to bring in less money, take on more debt, and put even more strain on Japan's finances. So, again, you can see yields spiking up on this news that Danish pension fund is going to exit the U.S. as of December. The fund had 100 securities. Yeah, it's kind of chaotic here in markets, to be honest. Again, we might have a potential tariff decision at 10 a.m. as well. That might just make this situation worse, exacerbate some of the sell-offs, or cause rebounds. I'm not sure. Again, NASDAQ coming down. We're at 185s right now. 180. Okay, so in Davos, France's Macron says it doesn't make sense to threaten allies with tariffs. Bassett, though, said NATO alliance has never been more secure. Yeah, so the CIO says the U.S., and regarding the Danish pension fund, CIO says the U.S. is, quote, is basically not good credit, end quote. Bassett did repeat, do not retaliate versus U.S. over Greece. That I have an open mind. Again, you can see yields basically up 4.3%. Got pulled back a little bit. Got over 4. Bitcoin's starting to rise back up to almost 91s though. Again, Nvidia, Netflix, ones to watch today. You can also watch anything that might be hit with tariffs in Europe. Car companies, maybe overseas car companies. Remember, guys, I am not an investment professional. I am not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment. Trade smart. I can't guarantee anything. Do not copy me. Not an investment professional. All right, we are almost up to 225s here. Oh, use leverage. What's the play today, guys? What do you guys like buying this morning? Put the symbol in chat. Explain what it is. Put the symbol in chat. I'll take a look at it. What do you guys like buying today? Gold. UI path. Adobe. Adobe keeps falling here. Again, I think AI is just going to eat some of their business. I think they'll still probably be around. They'll still make money, but... AMC? Bro, after that pizza I ate at an AMC theater the other day, I just can't. You know, I'll tell you, again, I like AMC. I like Adam Aaron. I go to buy a pizza there with my daughter. We went and saw the new Pandora movie. And I almost ordered 2 pizzas, one for her, one for me. Bro, I get this pizza, and it's a huge pizza, like ridiculously large pizza. False advertising. I open the box, it's like a Smurfs pizza. You know, like Honey I Shrunk the Pizza. Way small, way too small. I could literally lift the whole pizza with like this with my, it was just too, so mad about it. My name is John. J-O-H-N. Oh, I'm still on it. I'll rant about that for years. Davo said, Treasury Secretary Bessent said, very unlikely Supreme Court will strike down the president's signature economic policy. Bessent said, I had more foreign participation in treasuries than ever. Japan bond market had a 6 standard deviation move. Again, he said, it's very unlikely the Supreme Court will strike down the president's signature economic policy. We're on the way to cutting deficit to 3% by GDP by end of the president's term. So, I don't know. Odds makers are pricing in a high chance that they reverse the tariffs. And the last time I looked at odds for whether they're going to strike down the tariffs, it was like 3-1 chance they were going to strike down the tariffs and reverse the tariffs. Yeah, at this point, there's a 29% chance that the tariffs hold on poly market. We can look at other markets here as well. Yeah, I don't know. The odds on Kashi went up a little bit. We got about a 33.5% chance of them actually ruling in favor there. Hey, thank you, AT. Yeah, I'm in PayPal right now, but I'm pretty sure down. They raised their divvy though. I did see they raised their dividend. I think they raised their divvy. Yeah, but they're down on the day. With everything else, everything's basically down though. Alright, so the question is, here's the 200 exponential on that 225 level that we longed right here. We're retesting it now. I think I'm just gonna wait. And silver and gold making some moves this morning. What news is going to move the markets today? So I'll give you guys a recap because that's what I do here is give you guys the news. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. We do this for free. You're welcome. So essentially what happened is that, and let me get this right. Over the weekend, the president said he's going to slap 10% tariffs on imports from Europe tied to his Greenland push. He basically wants them to support the move, or he slap tariffs, essentially what it is. That's kind of made people nervous. This includes Denmark, United Kingdom, Germany, France, Netherlands, Sweden, Norway, and Finland. Again, starting on February 1st, 10% tariffs on imports, potentially. This is what he's threatening, at least. And then it rises to 25% on June 1st until a deal is reached for the complete and total purchase of Greenland. Obviously, Europe has kicked back on this push. They called it blackmail and completely wrong and are openly discussing countermeasures. Again, this ultimately raises the odds for US-Europe trade war rather than just noisy rhetoric, or rhetoric, I should say. Again, markets are reacting negatively to this. Again, Bitcoin also down over the last 48 hours, down $4,000 to $5,000. It's at about 91,000 as we speak. And most markets are gapping down except for like Netflix and some other maybe some isolated stocks, but most stocks are reacting negatively to this, just on more uncertainty. With that news, gold and silver have been flying, and gold's up to all-time highs at 47.43 roughly for gold futures, and roughly per ounce, 47.43 an ounce for gold. Silver also at all-time highs, 95.78. Not that long ago, maybe an hour or two ago, it hit all-time highs at 95.78. We're at 95.30s right now for silver. And then again at 10 a.m. today, we get the potential Supreme Court decision on the president's tariffs. Maybe. They don't tell you which case is in the batch. There's only one case today coming out. So, and they don't really tell you whether that's going to be the tariff decision or not. But again, we're going to be here at 10 a.m. to cover it live as it happens. But again, markets are down. They had rebounded a little bit. You can kind of see if we zoom out a little bit here. You can see how big this drop was. You can kind of just see. NASDAQ Friday was at about what? Let me keep these levels just because they've been working. I'm gonna have to thin them out a little bit. The volatility is just larger today, but we are all the way back down to 25,200s on the Nasdaq. Again, the SPY is down to 680s. It was at almost 700s. You know, a couple weeks ago. Silver, gold are higher. Bitcoin is down, and markets are just uncertain. There's a lot of geopolitical stuff going on right now tied to Greenland. And again, we do have Bassett speaking. He said the U.S. is immune from China measures against Japan. He said Japan and China have gotten in a skirmish, according to Bassett, and rare earths are flowing as expected. Said my China counterpart has been a good interlocutor. And he uses some words. Look, I'm the top 3 greatest reader of all time. Just use a normal freaking word, bro. Bill Gates says the world is going backwards in fortune. And again, the big news that we had a couple minutes ago, specifically, the more recent news, is that with all the stuff going on with the Greenland push by the U.S. president, the Danish fund Academics Pension is now planning to exit U.S. treasuries, which is what a lot of these companies in Europe are threatening. They're like, hey, we're going to unload, we're going to get rid of U.S. assets, basically. And now Danish fund is dumping U.S. treasuries. At least is planning to exit U.S. treasuries by the month end, citing rising credit risks under the current president. The CIO, Anders Scheld, said U.S. finances are no longer sustainable, pointing to weak fiscal discipline, a softer dollar, and the president's Greenland remarks. It holds about $100 million and says safer alternatives are available. So that's basically the news this morning, heading into the potential tariff decision at 10 a.m. today. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Huh? So the president is wanting to acquire Greenland, and he is essentially telling European countries that if they don't support it, he's going to hit them with. And so yeah, markets are down, gold and silver. Bitcoin's down now, but yeah, that's basically threatening tariffs. And then at 10 o'clock today, we have decision regarding Supreme Court ruling on his tariffs. They could reverse it. It might not be in the batch today, though. Some people think we're not going to get the decision until June. So you'll be standing alone if you take on Europe. Whole world is against the U.S. Yeah, obviously Europe is not happy about this. My charts are very slight. Yeah, I mean, markets are down. It's not Carol, by the way. Yeah, this is Markel. This is my sister-in-law. Carol's sister. What? Chat. Here, look. I'll pop it out. Oh yeah, yeah. One of your eyes is bad. Okay, that makes sense. We'll get you some eye drops. You know. Huh? He's got a boyfriend, guys. Sorry. You know. He's here too. I don't know where he's at, but yeah. Princess Elsa. Got the hair for it. Yeah, got the hair. I never saw Frozen though. Maddie loved it for a period of time. Yeah. Yeah. We got 40 minutes until the opening bell. Just ignore them. Yeah, they'll be alright. Yeah. I just cover breaking news mostly. Alright, so the Finnish president Stubb says the latest rhetoric on Greenland provides hope. Yeah, we'll see. And then he said, I have no illusions about being a Trump whisperer, end quote. That it's good if Greenland's spat strengthens the Arctic security. Bassett also said we'll see a big year for real income growth this year. Stubb also said short-term needs to de-escalate language on Greenland. France's Macron is also speaking on this. He said, let's not be divided and let's not accept a global order that will be decided by those that claim to have the bigger voice. So yeah, basically what happened is that the president's threatening tariffs on Europe if they don't support the Green acquisition, basically. A lot of them are still not supporting it, and their counter threat back to it is that they're going to start unloading U.S. treasuries, like bonds. Right? When you unload bonds, they're basically getting rid of U.S. assets, saying they're not trustworthy anymore, and that's kind of like a retaliatory thing by them. And so that's basically what's going on, and that's making yields spike because bond yields and bond prices inverse each other. So like when bonds get sold off, yields go up. Like the amount that you earn from the bonds go up, and so you kind of see like here's yields, interest rates. They're spiking up on this news because just the general sentiment of bonds is getting sold off. Japan, which also influences us right now, is of something called the carry dynamic, which basically is that basically people use Japanese interest rates to buy up U.S. assets, because over the last 20 years, the Bank of Japan has been really what's called dovish, like really low interest rates or negative interest rates in some ways. So people are like, hey, cheap leverage. And so they use the Japanese yen to buy up U.S. assets with it because it has such historically low interest rates, right? It's better than some of the other interest rates they might get where they're going to have to pay, much higher percentages to get that leverage. And so... But recently, Japan has kind of pivoted away from that. So Japan has been much more hawkish or higher interest rate pushing recently. And so that's causing a lot of U.S. assets to get sold off as well because people are now pricing in the higher interest rates by the Japanese yen and the Bank of Japan. And with that said, some of the news that came out this morning that Japanese government bonds are crashing down, which means yields are spiking up. Interest rates are higher. So higher, worse leverage. So Japan's 30-year bond yield spiked 30 basis points. It's 3.9%, the highest in history. The 40-year yield is up 28 basis points to 4.22%, which is the highest ever. Again, that might cause sell-offs in markets as well because people are essentially pricing in higher interest rates overseas. So it's really nuanced, but yeah. I'm not showing off. I'm just explaining. And I'm explaining something that I think she might find interesting, as well as you guys might find it interesting, so it kind of makes it, Camera's right here. Right. You guys should like it too. No, I most of the time I don't even look at the camera. I just look the other way. You guys don't exist here. Y'all aren't real. All 1,200 of you guys are just imaginary. Y'all are figments of my imagination. Yeah.
Non-dream.
I don't think I've ever dreamed about you guys. Honestly, once the stream's done, I don't even want to talk to you guys. I'm just over it, man. I'm just like, look, get out of here.
Get a t-shirt that says, I love John.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, make them 50, make it,
Sweatshirts.
Denmark isn't talking about nuclear options. Denmark is talking about, what were they talking about? I saw the Denmark news earlier. Again, I think Stubb is speaking. He said he's hopeful we can reach some deal on Ukraine. Bassett says we must get out from China's grasp on rare earths. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Again, I think today's a big day for it. 10 o'clock today, 9 o'clock our time. But 10 o'clock today, we get the tariff decision. Maybe we get the tariff decision. So basically at 10 o'clock today, the Supreme Court is supposed to rule on whether all of the president's tariffs that he's implemented through the IEEPA tariffs. I have to look it up. It's the international, I know it's the international, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act is what the precedent that the president implemented the tariffs under, but we get a ruling on whether the Supreme Court rules those tariffs as unconstitutional because they didn't get congressional approval for them. And so basically at 10 o'clock today, which they don't really announce it ahead of the time, at 10 o'clock today, we could get a complete reversal by the Supreme Court of the president's tariffs. And I don't know how the market's going to respond to that. I did a poll earlier. Here's the poll right here. I asked people, we got like 1,000 votes. 52% said they support a reversing of the tariffs. 48% want the tariffs to hold. And so, yeah. I don't know how it's going to affect markets. I really don't. I don't know what it's going to do, how it's going to affect things. Genuinely don't know. But again, at 10 o'clock today, we'll figure it out. They might not update it today, though. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I don't know. It gives me something to cover at 10 o'clock today. But we'll see what happens. Market's kind of crazy right now. The markets are down mostly. Morning. Gold and silver at all-time highs. Here's. Look at silver. This year, silver prices has gone from 27 in April all the way up to almost $100 an ounce for silver. Gold is up there as well. Gold is up to almost 5K an ounce. Yeah, gold is good. Gold is good. It's up a lot. I think it wants 5,000. So like, here's 5,000 in gold futures, and it's very close to that. And so I think just that big whole dollar number of 5K kind of attracts people to push it that high. But sometimes you also get a move over that and then a dump down like this. So that's possible too. You never really know. Silver's up a lot as well. Right, DCA. Not an investment professional, but if you dollar cost average into it, that could work. This is Google. Oh, this is PayPal. I'm down on PayPal. Most of my positions are down on just because the market as a whole. Like if you look at the SPY or the S&P, they're all down. They closed like way up here, and now they're down here. It's Google, Alphabet. That's kind of what we call like a rogue order. So basically, people on their platforms set orders overnight, and then when they get filled, sometimes you'll get like a rogue order getting filled. Here, chat, I'm telling her about this right here. Sometimes you'll get a rogue order getting filled, and it'll look like this. And so basically, market makers will push it up, fill the order, and then it'll just. But it's technically a real order, but whether it accurately reflects what it was doing, it's just arguable. It's a real order, but it might just be like one order that got filled way up there, and then it's like this. I have to go look. I'm not really sure how big of an order. Some volume came in. Like 5,000. 900. That 1 minute candle. Oh no, it's all good. Oh, that was you with the in Google. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you're still probably red if it was you, but you're losing money if it was you. Yeah, I think they're getting mad at him. I don't ever have anybody to talk to, so.
I'll stop.
No, you're right. DCA long term, that's your biggest edge. Yeah, no, I mean that's probably right. Depends on what it is. You don't want to dollar cost average into a penny stock or something. She invests, I would say, more than trades. Yeah. PayPal is a dinosaur. It's trash. I like PayPal. I think I'm green on PayPal too. I don't know. Actually, I'm not. Yeah, I'm red in PayPal, but I'm green overall. Like I bought Nike at 57s. Was that like 65s? Hold on, let me see. There might be news coming out. The market's pushing up right now. Assets, guys. Danish pension fund is going to exit U.S. Treasuries. Already saw that. Goldman Sachs QIA target is $25 billion investment partnership. Besic suggests 2 to 3 years defense restrictions can be lifted. He said working at warp speed, a critical mineral block. Let's get out from China's rare earth grasp. Its contractors let down the American people, he says. Mira, right? Mira. Yeah, Bitcoin's down. They were still mining. I think that's what they're doing now. They might be doing it. Oh, Eli Lilly. They're doing all right. They had a crazy good months. Starting in August, they broke 1,000 a share. Now they're kind of dipping down a little bit, but most stuff's dipping down over the last week or so, I'd say. Yeah, solid. When was the symbol? Oh, I don't personally like it. It's too political for me. And then I think that's Truth, right? The problem with Truth, like sometimes I'll go to Truth and check the president's stuff. The problem with it is that it's so filled with advertisements. Yeah, again, I don't know a ton about it, but chat, what do you guys think of DJT stock? That's Truth, right? Again, it's just there's too many ads. Like, look, if I go here, look at all these ads I have to face just to get one post. Yeah, like, look at that. I think that's unreasonable. Oh no, there's just so many of them. So many ads. This is my sister-in-law, Chris. Good to scout. Yeah, this is Markel, my sister-in-law. Dixie's dropping. Yeah, so we just had 9 o'clock hit. The opening bell's in 25 minutes or so. I'm actually doing that right now, John, buying Metaplanet. I like Honeywell as a stock. One time we had our AC go out and it like flooded our ceiling in our old house. And Honeywell came over and they basically remediated all of it, like gave us a bunch of money and remediated all of it. And it was something small too, like an O-ring or something. And they came through, fixed our hot water heater, and then renovated our whole property for it. So Honeywell seems to do what's right. Again, that's just my own first-hand experience with them. So, but I generally like Honeywell stock as well. HON. Again, not an investment professional. Half the time I have no idea what I'm talking about. Don't copy me. Wait. Okay. What's the symbol? Hey, I don't know what this is. Let me see. It's too cheap for me. Like just for my own like style. Too low. Pretty new company too. It IPO'd in 2024. So I don't buy them. I don't wait a year a lot of the time. I'll buy them if they look interesting, but I'm not going to buy them on IPO day. There's too much volatility variance that happens from IPO day.
I have to buy.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah.
MKL worked out.
Right. Hey, you know, KL. Yeah, it's up a lot. What is this?
That's not
Markel Group.
But it's the Markel Group, but that's not how you spell it.
Yeah. I think it might be Markel Group. Let me see.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up a lot. It's good trends this year.
Mm-hmm. That up.
Yeah. Works, it works.
In a funny story, I bought
Oh.
ended up being
Yeah.
but it's going up.
It's up a lot, no, for sure. Cisco's definitely up.
I was like, people are freaking out about toilet paper. I might as well go buy the paper.
Yeah, I remember that too. I don't think we bought toilet paper at the time, but I remember the rush of toilet paper buys.
I'm texting at the exit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can y'all not hear her? I don't know what I could do to the mic to make it. The mic has a suppressor on it, so you can't hear my dogs barking. Yeah, noise cancellation. What it is.
Are you talking to?
Yeah. So this is it, but I can try to change it, but
Oh, it's okay. I like this color.
you know, see, they were really smart about this mic. They want me to download their mic software. And so what they do is they set the base color to rainbow. And they say the only way you can change the color outside of a rainbow mic is by downloading our software, you know? And so basically I'm stuck with a rainbow mic unless I download the mic software, which is honestly a genius strategy. Like I can't even hate on it because P&G. Yeah, Procter & Gamble's interesting. It's downtrending too, which I don't hate. Like, I like to buy pullbacks. This one's been downtrending since. Maybe it's interesting. Got a dip down here. I don't know. I don't know. Small size and ad. Serbian. No, Italian. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
They're all great.
They're trolls, so like they'll say crazy stuff just to see if they can respond to it. I thought you had it set to green before. I did. I don't want to open up the software though, so I might just leave it rainbow. Bitcoin over 91,000. And again, I think silver is dipping again short term here. Question is, does it break $100 a share now? I don't know. Also, let me know if my voice is too low right now. Yeah. So you did fall for the download trap. I have it downloaded. I'm not gonna open it up right now though. I'll give it time. It's good. The volume's good. Russ is down 5%. Oh, you're talking about the Russell. What is it? RTY? Talking about an actual stock. Not really a big Russell investor though. I don't really invest in small caps that much. Again, Francis Macron is still speaking right now. He's just trying to push his own positions, probably. Francis Macron says NATO is a weakened institution today. It is not coherent. Again, speaking to the president, he said, "I do not intend to speak to President Trump at Davos." Again, spot gold just broke record highs. The gold is up to 47.54 5 minutes ago. The gold is pushing up to record highs. Again, markets have basically sold U.S. assets, including companies in Europe have been unloading treasuries. Dollar fell 1% against the euro and Swiss franc. 30-year treasury yield is up to almost 5%, and gold and silver are hitting all-time highs this morning. Hey, thank you, Amber. I appreciate it. There's a decision today. Yeah, there's a potential decision. Again, we don't know for sure. Right, so we don't know for sure. They don't announce. I think it's terrible procedure. They should tell you which cases are in each batch before it happens so that you can prepare for it, especially in markets. Instead, they just they say, hey, we're going to release an opinion today, but they don't tell you which ones. And so we could get a tariff decision where the Supreme Court rules on the president's tariffs today. We could also not get one. They're only releasing one today. So they're only releasing one. And so we don't know if they're going to get it or not. Like, I don't know if they're going to release it. It's down. It's been down over the last... Bitcoin's down over the last 2 days. So Bitcoin has fallen... yeah, on Friday, it was at like 97,000. Today, it's at 90. It's down probably over that right now. It's probably down 4+% at this point. Yeah, there's a bunch of... There's like IBIT. There's... Yeah, you can look at like MicroStrategy, like a crypto-related company. Taylor. Yeah, it's down. They're down, yeah, they're down.
United Health was at 350s on Friday. It's now down. Not, it was at 330s. At 3.
But in bio, I, B, or X.
Yeah, it's gapping up a lot. It's not gapping up a lot today, but it's up a lot. We look at stocks too. I don't really like if the stock's under $10. Sometimes they'll make these big moves like this, but a lot of the time they're like manipulated. So what happens is like the CEOs of the companies, they don't know if the company's going to be profitable long term, and they're trying to make money, right? So sometimes they'll kind of pump up the share prices allegedly, and then unload those shares at on all this extra liquidity they're getting by pumping it up. Sometimes these are just other moves though. Like sometimes these are just up big on hype from different catalysts. This is a biotech company though, so it's just too much volatility stocks for me. Like a lot of the time, by the time you see it, it's too high. This one's up a lot. It's up like it looks like it's up over 100%. 100% would be $5 a share. Is that 6? Yeah, it's up well over 100%.
Well, let's get back to it, John.
All right. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Everybody say bye. Yeah, they're not barking yet. We'll let what's his name beat him today.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
And they maybe not. They maybe won't bark. I don't know. Yeah. Shout out to Markel. Yeah. Okay, I will. All right. All right, guys. Yeah, that's my sister-in-law. I don't know if y'all could hear her or not. All right. Anyways, Bitcoin at 91,000. Again, potential tariff decision 10 a.m. today. So again, we got potential tariff decision by the Supreme Court today, 10 o'clock. That's the kind of the big headline now. We're gonna trade the opening bell, but ready. All right, guys. Yeah, the market's honestly really flat, and this is what I told you guys is that I think the market could be flat leading into this tariff decision. I think the market could be flat. I don't know for sure, but I think leading into it could have sideways chop ahead of this. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Will the opening bell be bullish or bearish, guys? Bullish or bearish open? Where's my chat? Hey, what's up, Mama Pawn? Bear. Most people are bearish. Blood in the streets. Most people are bearish at the opening bell. Look how choppy the Nasdaq is, though. Gold and silver are pumping though this morning. Gold and silver are pumping. Much crazy today. I hope it does nothing until 10 o'clock. I think there's a chance. Thursday, major reports coming. Yeah, we got GDP and PCE inflation on Thursday.
Yeah, sorry. Japan's finance minister Katayama says we're not conducting expansionary fiscal policy. He says we're taking responsible approach to public finances, and he says he wants markets to calm down. Denmark Prime Minister says I will not abandon Greenland. Again, Japan's finance minister Katayama says we want markets to calm down, and
interesting day today, guys. Again, we did a poll. Which tariff decision would you prefer today? 52% said the reversal of the tariffs that they would support. Yeah, so the Thursday data is delayed data. It's November, I think it's November PCE inflation and Q3 GDP from last year. It's still relevant though. But that's what it is. So again, it's December PCE, or no, it's November PCE and delayed GDP. What it is. Yeah, let me put a timer up. Got you guys. $10 o'clock. Says it's an hour and 41 minutes away. Okay, I gotta set it for 9. Why does it keep setting it for 10? 9. Eight? Oh, all right. All right, guys. All right, guys. So again, we got the tariff decision coming out at 10 o'clock today. I wanted to get a timer up so we can tariff decision timer right here. And we are going to day trade the opening bell live. Get Bitcoin down under 91 again, rejecting at that 91,000. It's still falling down here. Yeah, we've had a lot of geopolitical comments this morning. Katayama says they can't say whether we're about to intervene in the FX markets. FX intervention remains an option that we can take. Fiscal deficit is the smallest among G7, and they don't see Japan as canary in coal mine. Says markets may be sensitive to sales tax plan. And top global investors are very bullish on Japan, according to them. It says confident futures bond auctions will be successful, and we're not ignoring market opinion. It says they have taken steps in stabilization in the last 4 months. And that says Katayama says we'll talk with the Bank of Japan and others to restore market confidence. Says we're not conducting its fiscal policy, according to the Bank of Japan. Markets are not interpreting this as good. Again, markets are not interpreting this as beneficial. Tariffs are not inflationary. So the decision today is regarding the president's IEEPA tariffs, potentially.
Also, we have the Denmark Prime Minister says, I hope that we can avoid measures such as Denmark Prime Minister, but if the U.S. imposes tariffs, then we need to find a response. Yeah, I mean, what are you referencing, Steve? What are you talking about? Red Bezant's going to speak at Davos at 9:30 Eastern Time. Yeah, so at 10 a.m. today, it's not the Greenland tariffs. It's the broad tariffs by the president under the IEEPA. I think it's the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Look at these levels, though, on the chart. 225. Again, Bitcoin's still consolidating under 91. Honestly, markets are very stagnant right now. We got 7 minutes into the opening bell, but look at markets here. Not really moving that much. Still pretty stagnant. Yeah, I mean, the VIX is going to go up with this recent drop. I think this is Katayama's quotes acting thing. The U.S. layoffs hit recessionary levels. Employers announced 1.21 million job cuts in 2025, up 58% year over year, the highest since 2020. Interesting. Look at this. Look at that news I just put. U.S. layoffs hit recessionary levels. Employers announced 1.21 million job cuts this year, or last year, up 58%, the highest since 2020. That might be what tanked the markets, but again, 1.21 million job cuts in 2025, up 58% year over year. You think the markets go up if the tariffs are ruled illegal? I think they could. I don't know for sure what they're going to do, but I think they could. The reason I'm saying that is because, I think you could look at it two different ways. I've said this every day that I've covered it, but I think you could look at it in two different specific ways. I think you could look at it like, hey, when these tariffs were originally announced, markets went down. And so a reversal of the tariffs using the same logic maybe might make the markets go up. And I think that's a reasonable thesis on it. I think you could also look at it in another way, though. And it depends on which one the market believes more is ultimately going to dictate where we go. But the other way you could look at it is, hey, this is going to restart the volatility cycle of tariffs. They're going to implement the tariffs in other ways, even if these get reversed. And so it might just restart the volatility cycle, cause more uncertainty, and ultimately markets might react negatively from it. And, either way, I think the winner here could be gold and silver regardless. I'm not an investment professional. But, I think either way there's uncertainty. And so gold and silver might go up, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. But again, U.S. layoffs hit recessionary levels. Employers announced 1.2 million job cuts last year, up 58% year over year. And again, you can let me know which one you guys agree with here in terms of that. Again, Fitch says any shift in transportation of Iranian oil from shadow fleets and tankers from upside risks. Again, natty gas spiking up on a potentially cooler outlook, making people use their heaters more and making natural gas spike. We've seen natty gas here. If you look at NG futures, got up to $3.99, basically $4 here. So natural gas has been spiking up this morning. Again, Chevron cancels loading of 5 CPC blend oil cargo scheduled for January to February, according to sources. Yeah, my TOS studies aren't working either, Vasquez. I don't know why. Like, I usually have the previous closing price study up here, but it's not working for some reason. I don't know. It's strange. Okay, so it's not just me, right? Because when I put my, I have some algorithms here. Oh, it just worked. So actually, it did just work. If I can add it now. It works in futures. Doesn't work in stocks. Strange. Hey, what's up, Sam?
Yeah, we don't know for sure, Draco. We really don't know it. And we could get a decision today. We might not. Okay, so apparently the Danish pension fund academics pension decision to divest U.S. treasuries is rooted in poor U.S. government finances. It's not directly related to the ongoing rift between the U.S. and Europe. I mean, sure it's not. Of course it is. I mean, like, they're gonna say whatever they gotta say. Look, let them do whatever they want to do. But of course they are. Yeah, what timing? What a coincidence, guys. Anyways, Nvidia, other microchip stocks going down a little bit right now. Here's 25-200s. All right, guys, let's see what the opening bell. Yeah, we did have news. The Denmark Prime Minister says, I think it is a very bad idea with trade war among allies to use the trade bazooka. I'm assuming this is not literal. I have to look this up. I'm assuming this is not literal, you know? It'd be funny if it was, but it's not. So yeah, this is him basically criticizing hardline European retaliation, which is them unloading U.S. securities, is what this is, against the president's tariffs, starting a trade war. Intel, again, look at the NASDAQ pop here. Wow, look at the NASDAQ bounce at the opening bell in a minute. We got 1 minute to the open. Could be the market on open. All right, guys, here we go. Opening bell. Less than a minute here. Yeah, here's the opening bell. All right, guys. Market just rebounded heavily here at the opening. Could be the market on open causing this. Here's the opening bell, guys. Good luck. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. You'll catch up to the stream. NASDAQ is starting to rebound ahead of the open. Here's the opening bell right now. Trade Representative Greer says the president's Greenland-related tariff threat is an appropriate use of tariffs. All right, guys. NASDAQ just ripped at the opening bell. And some people said that the market would absolutely go down at the open. Maybe they're right. It's still too early to tell here. But again, Alphabet flying higher. And Nvidia bouncing at least ahead of the opening bell. That's a move back up here for sure. It's still way too early for me to trade. I gotta wait a couple minutes at least. So see what we get. But so far, green open right now. Gold and silver falling down quickly here. The 275s. Look at the 275s. Yeah. Greer says the president's Greenland-related tariff threat is an appropriate use of tariffs. It's still too early to say whether a short is not the right move, right? It's still too early to say. Markets can do anything in the first couple minutes. Sometimes this move is not unretraceable. You know, like we could turn all the way back down. I'm not, again, that first green candle doesn't mean anything. It's too early. We gotta wait. They might be right about their short. Again, I don't know. Again, Nvidia's actually red since the opening bell. Could be the first move is the wrong move. Yeah, I mean, Nvidia's down 180s right now. We are going to trade. We only got in a one trade earlier, so we do have a cushion. I got to let the opening bell pass a little bit longer for first. All right, starting to rebound back up a little bit here since the opening bell. Again, I think it's also possible we get chopped ahead of the potential Supreme Court tariff decision in 27 minutes. Possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's possible. Just a big announcement if it happens, and so markets might just wait the approach, if that makes sense. Breer says the EU has done nothing to implement U.S. trade deal. Ray Dalio also warned in Davos that the president's policies could spark capital wars as trade tensions and rising deficits. Dear people. Bitcoin rejected at 91,000 again. Bull or bear right now, guys? Are you bullish or bearish? Again, Alphabet still pushing up. All right, so we're starting to push back up here. Stop. All right, guys, Alphabet pushing. Really big moves. 25 300s. Get Alphabet right now. 324s. All right, guys. Nasdaq up to 25 threes. Get bullish open so far. Doesn't mean anything. We might not hold. All right, baby. See you guys. Bye-bye. All right. Yeah. Bullish open right now. Bullish open. Yeah, potential tariff decision going live in 25 minutes. Stick around. Nasdaq's green. I can trade now, so we will start trading here. Look at that 250 level. Honestly, guys, I'm not going to say it again, but I'm definitely going to say it again. That 225 level, 200 exponential reclaim, once the opening volume hit, worked. All right, so far, so good. I'm looking at 275 or 250 for a dip, though. Maybe 275 I like more. All right, 360s here, 360s. Still climbing higher. Bitcoin back up to almost 91,000. Not bullish. Definitely a bullish open so far. First 5 minutes. Doesn't mean we're going to hold this direction. Doesn't mean we're not going to reverse. It's definitely something. I might buy 300, actually. I got a cushion. We can take the risk. The only thing I'm worried about is chop. Like, I'm worried we're going to come back down ahead of the tariff decision. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But if we get 300, I'll buy it. Small size. Get it? Oh, we almost got it. I think I gotta wait for it, though. Like, a lot of the time I jump in too early. I don't want to do that. I'd rather buy it right at 3. Come on. Ah. Got down to, like, what is this? 305. Alright, here's round 2, maybe. I buy right there. Tap 300. Add a little bit more. We're gonna just take 3 and leave. Well, it definitely didn't work here. The chop remained. Let's see if 275 holds it. That is our risk. Luckily, we got a pretty big cushion on the day here. I am gonna unload some of this size right here, though, on the retracement. Just check the trade. And then we'll leave.
add back if we go green. 275 was the level, I guess, not 300. But add some size back. Pop back up at least a little. Go. All right, that's good. Go to second now. Nice. I'd add back on this dip here if we get another pullback to 275. See if we bounce there again. 75. Go. Nice. Big bounce at 275. I'm gonna let it work a little bit here now. Go, we'll add more to this. Better right there. So we did make money on the trade, which is good. Like net green on that. We wanted 300s though. We just didn't really respect 300s. It respected 275 here, the level we had underneath. So once we realized it started to respect that level, we scaled up a little bit. We'll give it a second though. Again, the big thing I'm worried about here is that ahead of the tariff decision, we're gonna go like this. You know, so I'm worried that that's what we're gonna do. So I'm not gonna be holding positions super long. I'm not saying, you know, I really don't know if that's what we're gonna do, but that's what I'm worried about with attacking like deep momentum today. So we'll see. I don't know. I think as soon as we get a tariff decision, we're gonna get some volatility. Yeah, MU flying up 375s right now. So it depends on what these stocks do. But yeah, I think once we get the tariff decision, we're gonna move. Now we might see some following moves the next few days. But again, this is just a guess. I'm assuming it just based off of my logic. Maybe I'm wrong. It's definitely possible. I've been known to be wrong before, like GameStop short. I didn't actually short GameStop, but I didn't want to buy it at 40. So, what do I know? That's basically what I'm saying. All right, guys. 20 minutes here. 20. Lift popping. That's only because I said I didn't like it this morning. That's why. Right, so we got this dip here. We hit 325s. I don't know what I want to do with this. Again, I'm worried about chop. And Nvidia is right around lows of the day here. Bitcoin all the way back up to 91.24s though. So we'll see if that holds. But yeah, I don't know, man. Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin up. Nasdaq coming back down though. Nvidia cracked that low of the day level at 179.70s, just broke under 180s for a little while. Greer says the president's Greenland-related tariffs appropriate use. UK Chancellor says she's confident that the plan to grow the economy is the right one. Check news. Yeah, UK's Chancellor speaking. But yeah, here's a push all the way back down. Try to buy 250. Head to it. Top sideways. Plan. Go. I had my chance to make money, but I gotta cover at least. There we go. We're back up. Doesn't seem to want to go there. I'm gonna cut this. I don't like that at all. I rejected there like 2 or 3 times. It could have just faked me out, but I'll give it time to hit the 200 exponential. Got out basically flat. Maybe I should have held. Should have held. There's 275s. Starting to make some moves though. Look at MU get back up there. Gotta buy this now.
a little late of a buy, but that's okay. Out of this, back to 2. Yeah. Cut it up there. Yeah, we're nicely green. I mean, we've kind of had some good accuracy today. Get another big pullback, I'll probably buy it here because I think we could chop leading into the tariff decision in 18. I think it's very possible. All right, guys. You're waiting for the tariff decision. So again, Jerome Powell is going to be attending tomorrow's arguments in Cook. It's common. It's not really super common for that. A lot of people are surprised by that. Nasdaq's still flying up. MU helping it at almost 377. It's over 377s now. Here we go. We're getting ready for the potential Supreme Court decision. Tariffs. Nasdaq is climbing all the way back up. But again, we've been stagnant. Remember, I told you guys I was worried the market did this, and I kind of changed my trading plan to account for potential this type of dynamic in markets. And I think so far that's what we're seeing leading into the tariff decision in 16 minutes. I think markets are apprehensive to get into big positions ahead of it, and that's why we're trending sideways. And so I think that's what's going on today, is that markets are just nervous about maybe the tariff decision coming out today and how that's going to ultimately affect everything. And so, yeah. Yeah, give me a follow on x.com at Beginner Trades. We appreciate it. Nasdaq climbing all the way back higher, and this is partly driven by MU today. Netflix is green today, which is, definitely not the base case for most Mag 7 stocks. Most Mag 7 are red. Right, Nasdaq's still climbing higher here. Again, odds of the Supreme Court odds of the Supreme Court holding the tariffs is at about 30% right now in most odds makers. Around 30% chance they keep the tariffs. Around 70% chance they reject the tariffs and reverse the tariffs today, or whenever I should say. All right, so France supports the EU Parliament's wish to suspend the EU-US trade deal. France's foreign minister says France supports this deal to suspend the EU-US trade deal. U.S. trade deficit with the EU may exceed the U.S.'s trade deficit with China for last year. Yeah, do you guys think the market's gonna hold? I don't know. I really don't know what the market wants. Yeah, so Jerome Powell might attend the SCOTUS argument. A lawyer by training, so likes the arguments. Yeah, we only get one opinion today, so if it's not that one, so if it's not the Supreme Court decision, you know, we're gonna know basically within the first case
what it is at 10 o'clock today.
All right, so again, we are doing exactly what I thought we would today, which is chop sideways leading into the decision in 12.5 minutes.
So again, at 10 a.m., the justices announce opinions, including potentially the tariff case. Only after they finish reading and announcing those opinions, they start the day's oral arguments in cases.
All right, so we are almost back down. We're at 25,276, very flat. Bitcoin has fallen all the way down to 95, 90.5 or lower than that now, 90.4 thousand for Bitcoin. Well, we have something at 10 o'clock. Again, at 10 a.m., we have a potential SCOTUS tariff decision. Again, we've had 3 different potential release dates, and the tariff decision has not shown up on any of those release dates so far. So we've had potential tariff decisions, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time today. We only get one opinion, so if it's not the tariff decision, we're not going to get it today, and we're going to have to wait for the next potential date. But again, in 11 minutes is when we might get that. We'll see. We'll see. But again, 10 a.m. today is tariff decision potential. I'm green on the day here. I've been mostly just attacking chop, but I don't really trust the market right now. Well, what do we have? We have 11 minutes. Let's short this right here. See if chop. Here we go. Go. Got it right there. Funny. We'll see if we get back up there now. Wanted to short that level again here. We've had a nice little green streak in this account here. This is my account right now. Pretty nicely green. No losing days since 13th. Maybe longer. I'll have to go back and look. Alright guys, 10 minutes left. 10 minutes. Yeah, potential tariff decision today, guys. Let's see if we get one. Somehow we've gotten out green. At 10 a.m. we're getting a potential tariff decision. President's tariffs. We don't know what's going to happen, but a potential tariff decision on the president. 10 a.m. Nasdaq is all the way back up. 330s now. MU has gotten to almost 380s here. Gold and silver, I'm sure, correcting back down at the open. Yeah. The VIX is probably going down as well now. Bitcoin is down a little bit though. Supreme Court tariff decision going live pretty soon here, guys. Pretty soon. What happens? We have about 9 minutes left. 9 minutes, and again, we're waiting. I have some sources that are gonna cover it immediately. I see some comments. As I will say, the president's additional international Emergency Economic Powers Act tariffs on the Greenland countries that were justified as a national emergency to prevent a national a party doesn't want to prove the other side's slope arguments correct before out. We know that at least back in the day, about 10% of votes changed after the initial argument. Yeah, so media outlets have specified an opinion on the International Emergency Economic Powers Act tariffs can be delivered either today, tomorrow, or February 20th due to a break. In this case, if we don't get them today or tomorrow, we'll probably have to wait until next month, guys, to get them. NASDAQ is breaking highs here, so we are popping a little bit higher here. And here is Google pushing up, Alphabet pushing up, Netflix, Nvidia, Meta, Microsoft, both higher since the opening bell. But a lot of this stuff is right on the day. But this is mostly MU, up to 380s right now for MU. We also have AMD ripping up. So AMD, MU flying up day at 232s almost for AMD. Almost back green on the day when it opened red. MU way up to 380s, very green on the day. So yeah, I wish they would change the procedure here and tell us when the tariffs are going to come out. Now, the fact that they do not tell you when the tariffs are going to come out is kind of wild, man. They should tell you at the very least when they're dropping. So kind of wild that they're doing that, but hey, we'll see. Again, Bitcoin at 90.5 thousand. AMD, MU flying higher here. Yeah, Intel has earnings this week as well, I think, right? Intel at almost $50 a share right now. What? So 361 level rejecting here. All right, guys. Tariff decision potentially coming. Here we get. And we have about 6 minutes left. You can hit the live button, put it in 2x speed. You'll catch up to the stream. We'll cover it immediately at 10 o'clock. As soon as we get something here, we'll let you guys know. But as of now, we're just waiting. I don't know why. I really genuinely don't know why they don't announce the tariffs ahead of the time, or which cases are in each batch ahead of the time. I don't know why they make everybody sit here and wait. But hey, yes. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Look at AMD and MU though still climb here, guys. Okay, Chancellor still speaking. All right, so Trade Representative Greer says the inflation overall trajectory is in check and going down. So the Deputy Foreign Minister of Norway can't participate in Trump's Board of Peace initiatives as it's presented today. Oil futures are up. Brent crude is up by $1 a barrel. So U.S. Trade Rep Greer, and again, we got the tariff decision in 4 minutes. There are other tariff tools if the U.S. Supreme Court strikes down the IEEPA tariffs, but they are the most appropriate for the situation that the U.S. faces right now. Again, basically saying there's other tools, but the tariffs that we're using now are the most appropriate for the situation. All right, guys. This timer is actually a little bit early. Or a little bit late. This is in about 4 minutes, guys. The tariff decision's in about 4 minutes. So I'm just going to turn that off because setting it for the time makes it a little bit late. But again, we should have the tariff decision in about 4 minutes. 4 minutes. All right, guys. Here is round 3 of the potential decisions for the U.S. tariffs. Again, it might not be in the batch today. It might, but it might not. We'll have to wait and see. Do we get a tariff decision today, guys, in 3 minutes? Let me know. Hit the like button, put it in 2x speed. We appreciate it, and you'll catch up to the stream. Do we get a tariff decision, though? All right, guys, I see a lot of questions here. Trying to stay on path. Nasdaq is doing exactly what I said it would, which is chopping sideways. I'm gonna put the SPY up here. Look at the SPY today, guys. Again, same thing. Very stagnant. Nasdaq is as well. I see some people asking about. I'm gonna put gold up here as well. Here's gold. Again, 47, 43s right now. Markets are waiting here, chat. Again, hit the live button next to the play button, put in 2x speed. No, you don't think we get a tariff decision? Is my music too loud? Here, I'll turn it down. Third time's the charm. I'm hoping we get some. I mean, I'll be okay either way. But again, there is a big chance that we don't get it today. Treasury Secretary Besson says the U.S. government will add seized Bitcoin to its digital asset reserves. Government subsidized services is bigger factor than in inflation. All right, guys, here we go. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. In 2 minutes, we get a potential tariff decision. We'll see. Potential tariff decision coming here. Go. All right, guys. All right, so remember, the last tariff decision we got was Barrett versus United States. Here we go. We got less than a minute here, guys. Less than a minute. We'll see if we have it on the docket today, but here it comes. The 45 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. We appreciate it. We'll see if we get it today or not. But again, 10 a.m. is when it's scheduled to be released. It might not be the actual tariff decision. We will see. It might not be the tariff decision. We'll see. Here we go. 40 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. Let's see what the market does. Getting into this. Last one was Barrett versus US. All right, here we go. And 10 seconds, guys. 10 seconds. And here's the release right now. Gotta wait a second and see if it's on the tariffs. All right, here we go. Markets are moving at 10 a.m. today. Let's see if we get it. That's 10 o'clock. We're waiting, watching, on standby here. Yeah, I see Barrett versus US, so nothing yet. Markets are choppy. Again, Barrett versus US was the last one. That was from Friday, I think. Still waiting. Markets are in limbo here. Brett Greer says the US will continue to be a great source of LNG for Europe. Still waiting. Nothing yet. You can kind of see markets haven't moved at all yet, so we don't know yet. Markets haven't moved. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. It's very quiet right now, very quiet. Markets are kind of flat. SPY did fall a little bit here, but we don't have anything yet in terms of announcements here for the tariff decision. They have not updated it yet. The only one we see right now is Barrett versus the US, which is the last one. Still waiting. Still waiting. All we have is Barrett. Okay, we have the first opinion. It's Burke versus Choi. Justice Barrett is the author. And so it's Burke versus Choi. Justice Barrett is the author. I don't know if we had more than one opinion today. I think now they're acting like we might have one or more opinions.
But so far, the first one is not the tariff decision. The vote is unanimous, but it's Burke versus Choi. It's not the tariff decision for the first one. We refresh this here. This is the first one they did today. The first potential opinion. We will see if we get another one today or not. But so far, it is not Supreme Court tariff decision today. It's Burke versus Choi, not the Supreme Court tariff decision. Still waiting here. But so far, it is not the Supreme Court tariff decision. Market's still flat ahead of this report, waiting on the other one. But again, first opinion is Burke versus Choi. Not the tariff decision. Waiting to see if they have another opinion today to be sure, but so far, Burke versus Choi was not the Supreme Court. And again, we might have another one today. I'm waiting to see. Wait to see if they have another one opinion today. Okay, so there is a number 2, apparently, guys. There is another number 2 opinion, so we do have more than one opinion today, apparently. We are waiting to potentially get another one. Stick around. Stick around. We are waiting for one potential more opinion today. So we might have another opinion today. Still waiting on it. I thought they said they would only have one, but now the moderators are acting like we have more than one. Okay, so we wait for number 2. Apparently there is another opinion today. The first one is unanimous, although Jackson concurs in the judgment. But again, Burke versus Choi. First one, waiting for a potential another one. Okay, so they're going back to wait for the next opinion now. We're gonna see what we get here. Going back, waiting for the next opinion. Yeah, again, I don't know why they don't announce which cases are in each batch ahead of the time. I think it's ridiculous that they don't tell you which ones are in there. You basically gotta sit here and wait. They're going back to wait for the next opinion here. Still waiting. There should be one potential more opinion today. Yeah. Markets are still waiting here, still very flat, very choppy. Next up is Ellenberg versus U.S. by Justice Kavanaugh. So, let me make sure we don't have another one. I don't think that's it. You look here. Yeah, here it is right here. Ellenberg by the U.S. Monetary restitution victims regarding a mandatory victims restitution act of 96 requires defendant convicted of federal crimes to pay restitution. Yeah, it's definitely not the tariffs decision here. Let me see if we got one more today, but yeah, both of those are not the tariff decision, unfortunately. Again, both of those are not the tariff decision, unfortunately. So, still checking to see if we get one more. But yeah, so again, no tariff decision yet today, guys. I don't know if we're getting another one. The 8th Circuit Court held that restitution under MVRA is not a criminal. Yeah, so some opinion today's end with just decisions, others are 4 to 6. Still possible that they add more, including tariffs, but they're not necessarily for sure yet. Still waiting. Still waiting here, guys. So far, no tariff decision yet. Unfortunately, no tariff decision. Markets are pretty stagnant here. Waiting. I would take a trade, but I'm worried to take a trade if they do release the tariff decision. Even though, you know. Okay, yeah, so Supreme Court does not issue ruling, unfortunately. So it looks like that's it. No tariffs today. The final decision is Coney Island versus Burton. So yeah, they had 3 opinions. Neither one of them were the president's tariffs. So boo this man for not releasing the tariffs. I don't know who it is, but boo him nonetheless. And yeah, we don't got a tariff decision today. We have no tariff decision today, unfortunately, guys. I'm sorry. This is the 3rd. I was hoping 3 times the charm for these. But no tariff decision today. Again, maybe tomorrow. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, they do not issue ruling in the challenge to the legality of Trump's tariffs. Unfortunately. So, no tariffs. No tariffs. Decision today, I mean. Yeah. All right, let's trade a little bit though, guys. Starting to turn down here. I might buy this dip. See if we get a nice bounce. We have a pretty big cushion on the day, so we can try to buy this dip. See if we pop. Go. The range is so large today. I'm gonna cut another half of this, dude. I feel like every time I buy it, market just goes up. Continue higher here, market. Let's do it. I'll hold the rest break even, but I'd love for this to go higher. Market's still pretty stagnant here, but all right, there we go. That's better. I want to add to this. Probably not. Maybe if we dip low enough. All right, we're so far so good. Go add to this. The chance. Got a pretty decent cushion on the day. All right, guys. What's up? All right, sorry. Okay, I'm still green to this trade. I want to add to this. I'm going to try. I just want a quick pop up. We got a very large cushion on the day, very large. We can handle it if it goes against this. But I'd rather it not. Pop higher here. I don't love to see it. I mean, we're green on the day either way, but go higher here. All right. Take half off just to lock in. Less risk. Give it a second here. Okay, we're green. Buy or sell right now, guys. Buy or sell. John's dog said don't do it. Bro, he barks at everything.
I love Bruce, but he's a barker, dude. He will bark nonstop. Yeah, there we go. Yes. There we go. Yeah, Bruce is just a barker, dude. That dog just barks. All right, locking profit in here. Here we go. Up in this range here, it's not the biggest range, but it's something. Something. It's been easy money to just attack Chop today, guys. It really has been pretty money just to attack Chop. Feels like every time I buy it, the market goes up. Again, we're doing pretty well trading this one. And here's the last. Let me see how long this. Yeah, I mean, look. Here's the last 1, 2, 5, 6 trading days. That's the last 6 trading days. So we've been doing pretty well. Dog says, "John, don't do it." Yeah, here's gold, silver, Nvidia. I can't type today for some reason. Apple's down. Again, MU starting to correct. So MU went all the way over 380s. It's now pulling all the way back down. So, yeah, easy range trading today, guys. Easy range. Hey, listen. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. Again, we had the potential tariff decision. But came and went. No ruling today. Yeah, they should have announced it today. We had all the news today about markets and Greenland and more tariffs. Today was the day to announce the decision. I don't know when they did. Yeah, next opinion day could be tomorrow, Wednesday, if the court designates it for additional opinion. So again, we'll see if they announce the decision tomorrow. We'll see. Range is so choppy, guys. I'm probably just gonna cut on out of here. Yeah. If we get it today, though, or tomorrow. Again, same time, 10 o'clock is when we might potentially get it. This range kind of sucks, man. It's not really easy to trade. I'm probably just going to cut on out of here, guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Again, as soon as I close the stream, it'll bring you to tomorrow's stream. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. Yeah, we'll see what we get. No tariff decision today, though. Fortunately, another day, another no tariff decision. All good. See you guys later. Again, MU coming all the way back down. Gold and silver still around all-time highs. We'll see if we hold, guys. We'll see if we hold. Later, chat. Have a great day. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, I'm not an investment professional. Obviously, we're not liable if you lose money. Make your own assessment. Trade smart. Can't guarantee anything. I'll see you guys later. Great day.